Pastor Jerry said, ask the Lord for your Valentine gift. And I just brought out my diary and I wrote, Lord, give me my husband as my Valentine gift today. Like a joke, I met my Odogu that same day. Then 2023, I told God, I said, God, before Pastor Jerry's next birthday in August 22nd, 2023, I want to be my husband's house. And to the glory of God, I got married on the 20th of August, 2023. NSPPD is what God cannot do. Hooray! Finally, I saw the God who saw me. Pastor Jerry, we love you. Mommy, I know we love you so much. Hey! In fact, I don't even know where to start though, but I'm so happy. 2022, on Valentine's Day, I was connected to the fire altar. And Pastor Jerry said, ask the Lord for your Valentine gift. And I just brought out my diary and I wrote, Lord, give me my husband as my Valentine gift today. Like a joke, I met my Odogu that same day. And to the glory of God, I got married. Then 2023, I told God, I said, God, before Pastor Jerry's next birthday in August 22nd, 2023, I want to be my husband's house. And to the glory of God, I got married on the 20th of August, 2023. To the glory of God, just the way I said it, the Lord did it because indeed He saw me. And then fast forward to September after my marriage, I got pregnant. And I was happy. Then in December, that same year, 2023, I had a miscarriage. And I told God, I said, God, you see on this fire altar, nothing dies here. I cannot be connected here. And then I will not carry my own baby in my hands. I said, Satan, you lie. Every day when Pastor Jerry keeps praying that carry your babies, I will be believing it. Even while I was bleeding, I'll put my hands on my womb. I will be declaring. I said, God, I carry my baby. I was bleeding seriously. And then that December, towards Christmas season, I told my husband, God will bless my husband. I know he's here. God will bless him. I told him, I said, the only Christmas gift I want in this December 2023, even while I'm bleeding, just carry me to Abuja because we live in Lagos. Take me to Abuja for the NSPPD crossover nights. My husband just accepted. He said, is that all you want? I said, yes. And then we moved. I quickly packed our bags and we moved to Abuja sharp. When we got there, with all the pain, I was in that midnight service. I was there with my baby's clothes. I connected. I said, God, I'm not going to leave this place empty. You must settle me. And the Lord heard my cry. Then that first Sunday of 2024, my husband and I, we visited Streams of Joy for the Sunday service. Oh, sorry, the New Year service. We were there. After the service, my husband walked up to the altar. He laid down on the altar and he cried out his heart to God. But I could not climb on the altar because of the pain I was going through. Because while I was bleeding, the doctor said I had fibroids. So I couldn't climb on the altar because of the pain I was going through. I just managed to sit by the stairs. And I told God, I said, God, even while I'm sitting on these stairs, as long as Pastor Jerry walks on this path, I cannot sit here and I go back empty. No, it's not going to happen. As I connect my faith to the faith of my husband was on the fire altar. He was crying out his heart. I connected while I was sitting on the stairs. And then, to the glory of God, that first week we spent in Abuja, one of the midweek services at Streams of Joy, my husband said, okay, let's go for a scan on our way to church. And we went for a scan. And then the doctor that did the scan now said, he said, madam, we actually, before it was multiple fibroid, but now it's reducing. I said, God, that is it. There is something there. We took that report to church. After church, my husband said, go and climb on the altar today. Summon courage and I summoned courage and I climbed there. I laid this, my womb on the altar. I said, God, whatever they saw before, they will not see it again, no. It's not going to be seen at all. If at this time I have nothing missing, nothing broken, as I'm going back to Lagos, I'm going to get pregnant. I don't care how it's going to happen, but I will be pregnant and I will carry my evidence. And then, when we got back last year, May 29th, remember we came back in January, May 29th. I just told my husband, I said, let's go for a scan. And he said, your blood is too hot. We just came back from Abuja, just relax. I said, no, something is telling me that I'm pregnant, so let's just be going first. And he said, okay, we went. When we got there, I laid down. And before I left the house, I wrote error all over my tummy. I wrote it with marker, boldly. I went there, I laid down. The doctor said, madam, what is that? I said, it's a Roy. Just concentrate with your own scan. A Roy is busy here now. So, the doctor now said, sir, your wife's womb is large enough to carry a baby. My husband and I, we said, yes, that is it. The baby is there. My husband said, yes, it is my baby that you're seeing in my wife's womb. So the way we laughed at what the doctor was saying, the doctor now said, why are you people laughing? We said, because God has answered us. What God cannot do does not exist. You don't know our story. We left. Then in June, I summoned courage to do a pregnancy test. Because every time Pastor Jerry said, how will you shout? When I did the pregnancy test in that June, I saw 2 red lights. I couldn't shout. I was speechless. I said, God, you have seen me truly. And then in July, I went for scan. And the doctor said, madam, you're already 6 weeks and 6 days gone. I said, me. So the glory of God, I'm pregnant. I kept on joining the fire altar. Hey, I was always there with my mantle. Every day, Pastor Jerry would say, shock off anything that is not of God. I will just be shaking. I said, God, I don't know what it is, but I'm shaking. You see my baby, preserve this one until I'll bring forth like the Hebrew women. And then, fast forward to February last year, the doctors now said I was almost due. So they gave me my delivery date, 14th of February last year, 2025. So, and I now saw that the NSPPD prayer conference was coming. I told God, I said, God, I told my mom, I said, I don't want 14th of February. I want to deliver on the day of NSPPD prayer conference. He said, is that what you want? I said, yes. I said, because before Pastor Jerry will climb on the stage, I want to carry my baby so that both of us will join the NSPPD prayer conference together. He now said, okay, let it be the way you want it. So when we got to the hospital that Friday, it was my antenatal care, and the hospital I gave birth is very close to this place. So I packed all my bags, ready for delivery. Despite the day they gave me on the 14th, I was ready for delivery on that day of NSPPD prayer conference. Then when we got to the hospital after the antenatal care, the doctors now said, madam, you're having gestational diabetes, your blood pressure is high, and there is a way that maybe there will be complications and all of that. Me and my husband, we told them, there is nothing like that, there's nothing like, it's not going to happen. The way the devil planned it, it's not going to happen like that. Pastor Jerry said, nothing missing, nothing broken. So they now said, okay, madam, just wait. We are going to admit you so that we'll start administering steroids to you. We'll give you drugs, we'll do this. My husband, I told my husband, I said, there is no steroid there. They are not going to give me any steroid. All I know is I'm going to give birth. Hey, as God will have it, while they were preparing to admit me, God was doing his own. And then the prayer started here. I could hear it from where I was in the hospital. I said, Lord, I'm going to give birth to my baby today. They will not give me steroids. They will not give me any drug. I want to carry my baby in my hands. Immediately after my antenatal, by 4 p.m., 4:30, my water broke. Labor started just the way I wanted it. From 14, the Lord brought it back to 7th of February last year while the conference was going on. That was how it happened. Labor started like a joke, and I told God, I said, God, before Pastor Jerry will mount up the stage, I want to carry my baby. And that was how God did it. I carried my baby came forward. Pastor Jerry, this is your baby. I gave birth to her last year on the first Nigerian NSPPD conference. And I'm here to say happy birthday to my baby, because tomorrow she'll be 1 year.
Baby will be 1 year tomorrow. Last year's conference was 7th. Today is 6th. What God cannot do.
NSPPD, celebrate our God.